Hey, what is up? Okay, I'm trying this for the first time. I don't know how to go to members only, so I think I'm to the world. And so I need your help if you're going to tune in or if you're watching. Tell me, how's the sound in the comments? I don't know how the sound is, but I think this would be, I think I got it good. And if you can't even hear me, let me know that too. So it is, it's supposed to be for members, but I can't figure out Duracell. Can't figure out with this software how to go to members only. So I can only stream to everyone right now, I guess, or not. But maybe you could become a member. I'm just playing. But does it sound good? Who's here? Wayne, does it sound good? Like, does it sound like because I have these instead of headphones, I decided to go with in-ear monitors. And so I can hear when I do something, but when I put something on, but I really can't hear my voice through here. And I don't know if that's like a feature. I don't know if you want to hear your voice if you're talking to someone else. So let me see. Audio is good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it back and see if it sounds like that professional audio, like, you know, podcast kind of stuff. Or is it like because I spent a pretty penny on this microphone. I mean, it's not that much, but anyway, it was more than just using the mic on the laptop. But no, you don't have to leave. Yeah, Teresa. Okay, I'll leave. Hopefully, you're still here. You don't have to leave. Ron, member here saying sounds good. Okay, I'm curious. Um, And Claude says sound is very good. Okay, that's good. That is good. Again, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I got to figure out how to go and do member only lives. So for my members, I do lives all the time or very often, and so they ask questions, all kinds of stuff. So if you do want to ask questions or have any thoughts, we could talk about it here. Um, I mainly um, I mainly do that for members only, but we just won't talk about member only stuff. Although I can talk about my next cruise coming up because I don't think anybody would between now and Sunday get on a cruise. Building September 7th. Oh yeah, see that's member only stuff. What's happening September 7th? Nobody knows. I guess there's lots of ships to choose from. Um, so, Mike, what's up? Mike can hear just fine. Are you driving? Are you driving? Are you hauling something? Um, Mike was on the last cruise we were on, and man, what a great story. I never really found out. I thought you were down last time I talked to you, you're down about $500, but you got like 750 of free play and so I don't know if it like balanced out. I mean, it definitely balanced out because you got a junior suite offer, and that's a sweet offer. So just checking in. What's up? Scott is checking in, and Al in the house sounds good. What did you say here? Oh, got my free Prime cruise on Icon. I saw that on the Holy Roller Cruising Club on Facebook, the little private group we have. It's private mainly. Just I mean anybody can enter, but you have to request to join. That's on Facebook for those that are on Facebook. But I saw that you got your the icon on Iconic. It's the icon, and the thing is, um, uh, and you are, yes, sir, driving and texting at the same time. I'm just playing. What's this one? Booked one to Alaska. Oh yes. Oh, did you get so the Alaska one? You probably had to do a balcony, and because they have junior suite offers and and balcony offers on the the offer that you got. And usually it's like the older, smaller ships. We'll get you a junior suite, which is probably the only way I would want to travel on one of the older ships. So, so and it looks like Claude is looking at my annual now. It has a couple exclusions, but not that many exclusions, which is nice, right? Not that many exclusions. What about the for I know this could be my end or your end. What about the quality of the picture, the buffering? It hasn't like, as far as I see, it hasn't like stopped at all. So I guess my streaming speed is good enough, I guess. I don't know. It's not like I'm streaming gaming or something, but so let me know how the sound, I mean the sound, we figured out the sound is good. What about the audio? Let me play this, and then that way I can hear it, and then tell me how this audio sounds.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
I don't know. How did that sound? Did that sound about the same volume as me when but you missed the beginning. Oh, of course you did. You want me to go back and start over? uh let's see. Let's see. Prop bets. Was bummed no prop bets on Oasis last week, but rated very well. No prop bets? No, I think do you mean hop bets? No hopping bets on Oasis? Because the prop bets, the proposition bets are the pitcher bets or proposition bets right there in the middle of the table. The horn bet, the any seven, the hard ways. Those are prop bets, but hopping, it is kind of part of prop bets, but I think what you mean is there was no hopping bets. If they don't have it printed up at the top of the table, um, they will not. Well, sometimes they will, but if they don't have it printed, you have to assume that they won't do it. And the reason why I say sometimes they will is the first night I was on Oasis, they didn't have the hop bets printed on the screen, and yeah, hot bets. Yeah, not prop bets, but they didn't have it printed on the screen, or on the felt, and being that they didn't have it um, printed, um, I just assumed they didn't have it, and I asked, "Can I hop?" Because I wanted to hop the 5 or something, and they said, "No, no, no," and I just bought in for like, I don't know, 2,000 or something like that, like, and then this one guy came up and he bought in for 5,000, but he was playing like, he's like literally he put out all his money, and I think it was like he was at black level all the way across, but he wanted to hop something, and and they said, "No, we don't have hops." And he goes, "Okay, take me all down." He put his money in his rack. He left, and I guess he went and talked to the casino host, or he went to talk to the casino manager or something. Well, he came back like 20 minutes later, and then he did the same action with the hopping, and and they put it up, and I said, with my $5, hop the 5. But he was hopping like he was at black level. I think he was hopping like quarters or something like that. So they did make an exception for someone that was playing bigger, I guess. Um, so, oh, good. This is good to know. Hey, what's up, Dan? So audio was good. Yes, the same. So the video I just played and my microphone matches. That's great. I'll remember this setting, which is pretty much all the way up. I figured if I needed to be louder, it wasn't going to happen if you said I need to be louder. That's funny. Um, let's see. Um, Oh, wow. Wow, Mike, you got a junior suite on the Quantum of the Seas to Alaska. Wow, what a deal. Now that right there, I'll tell you right now, I mean, I don't know if you know, but that right there is probably an $8,000 cruise. I mean, for 2 people in a junior suite, you're probably paying about an Alaskan cruise, which is 7 nights. That's probably at least $8,000. So, and like I said, the last I talked to you, you lost 500. You got 750 worth of free play plus a junior suite. So for that, for 500 bucks, he had to pay taxes and port fees, which is probably 250. I'm thinking somewhere around there. So for instance, 500. If you lost 500 and you had to pay 500 to get 750 and a junior suite on the Quantum of the Seas to Alaska, oh, what a deal that is! Either way. Yeah, $8,000. Wow. 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 Okay, let's see what this one says. Hey Brian, I submitted a new variation of the 3RX to color up. Oh yeah, yeah. Was it the one that he did? Yeah, yeah, it seemed to outperform the original 3RX. And I think it was Come Again, right? The 3RX Come Again. And it was entering a come bet. And I forget what the and so the idea is when you get paid you like enter come bets. I'll have to watch that video again, but I'm curious the rating on the cruises, what it would be. I think it would be good. I think the 3RX is rated good. The thing that I'm finding with rating is like I don't have a problem with rating, but I just play it. Like I just play, and every once in a while, when they switch box persons or whatever, I'll say, "Hey, what do you have me rated at?" I think the difference is a lot of people are saying stuff like, um, "Hey, if I bet $100 on the don't pass and $75 on the point and have some money inside, what would you rate me?" And they'll say, "Well, we'll cancel out the other money and we'll rate you for what you have on the table other than the what cancels out the bets," which makes sense. I mean, most casinos would do that. But I think the way I do it, I mean, I just have my don't there. I think they type it in. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't type in the don't. But then when I put my money out, they type that in, And so I think maybe because I'm not pointing it out and the table's more busy, and maybe because I let them know when I'm first there, hey, I'm here to get some points and get a free cruise. So just make sure to rate me well. I don't like put my money out and then say, "What am I rated?" I just say, "Hey, I want to be rated well. I'm not playing for money. I'm playing for points." And sometimes I say, "But on the last night, I'll play for money, so you won't have to worry about rating me on the last night because I'm gonna just play for money." um, but they still do rate you on the last night. I just say something like that to let them know that I'm very. And it doesn't matter how many points I get after the first session, and this is like member only stuff that we talk about, but the thing that I do after the first session, no matter what, it doesn't matter what I'm rated. If I'm rated really good or really bad or somewhere in between, I whoever seems to be like the most like you'll see in the pit bosses, it seems like there's a pit boss of pit bosses. Like there's one that everybody looks to, but they all look the same. They have their name badges, but they don't have any different titles or anything. But you kind of get a sense of like, okay, who's a pit boss around here that knows what they're doing? Okay, and you see them a lot at the craps table. Okay, you're like, okay, that person. So then I'm gonna go to that person, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, my rating, what? Man, I don't know if you guys are rating correctly, but man, I was playing for 3 hours or whatever, and I just feel like, man, you guys are really skimping on the points. I'm here for a free cruise, and I'm taking care of the dealers. I'm tipping. I don't know, what do you have to do? I mean, I'm playing. I just want to be rated correctly, And they'll say something like, "Oh, well, we'll make sure." And I say, "Well, is it okay if I ask what my rating is before you guys check me out?" And they say, "Yeah, sure, yeah, sure." And so that's one thing I make sure to do. So before they check me out at the end of the night, at the end of the session, whatever, I make sure to say, um, "Hey, what do you have me rated at?" And if they say, "Oh, I have you rated at 110," and I said, no, I was playing like 200. Sometimes they'll change it right there. They'll just put 200 in, boom. And then it rates it at 200 for the entire time. Now, that is like a member only secret. Maybe I'm going to delete this video after we're done. But if you're here and you're not a member, hey, that's okay. That's okay. Welcome. This is the kind of stuff you get when you are a member, and you get the dates. Oh, look, do we have a new member? Yes. Yes. That's awesome. Welcome. You'll get lives when we're on the ship. We'll get behind the scenes stuff, all kinds of stuff. Um, yeah, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out. Shout out. Um, so I'm using this new program to do this. I'll be able to the only thing I can't figure out is how to do it members only. But I wouldn't probably have this set up if I'm like walking around the ship anyway. So I'll probably those lives will look pretty much the same. So let me see. Any questions or thoughts? Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got yeah, look my not bad for my first try. Not bad for my first try. I just happened to get a junior suite to Alaska on the Quantum of the Seas with $750 worth of free play on my first try. Well, and I was there, and I think that's one of the biggest benefits. Like there was sometimes when Mike was miss something, and sometimes we start off playing the same thing. And so we're right next to each other and we're playing the same thing. So he would just say same, or and I would announce the bets. And so it's kind of like side by side or one-on-one coaching, but like live on a real table. And so we're doing the same thing. And I said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do something different. Now I'm going to let you do it. And so then he would do his bets, and I'd say, hey, don't forget the field. And he'd go, oh yeah, the field. I say, hey, don't forget the hopping, or whatever it was that he forgot, like he would do it. And there was sometimes, I think, Mike, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was probably, and this is what Amber told me. She said, I think that I can't find that comment. Okay. She said, I think he lost money when he made a mistake. And I was like, no, not like he didn't make that many mistakes. And he goes, well, one time he forgot to hop and it hit the point. And so he lost his don't, but he didn't get paid the full amount. I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I could see that happen. And then there was sometimes where I was like, are you going to hop on the come out? I'd look at him like this. Are you going to hop? He's taller than me. I'm like, are you gonna hop? And he's like, no, I'm gonna risk it. And it worked. It worked for him. So it was awesome. So it's all different ways that you could do it and stuff. Like as far as like different you don't have to follow the protocol. You can, if you have a feel, of course strategies are not about feel, right? That's why I like to think the difference between a strategy and a system. Like a system is if that, then this is what you do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And a strategy is kind of what you insert into that system, And so, for example, you can have a strategy. If your strategy is not working, maybe you switch to another strategy. Maybe you switch to another strategy. Well, if that's part of your system, then your system starts with this strategy, then moves to this strategy. So I think a lot of systems or changing strategies, I would kind of like say, okay, what's going to be my plan? Think of a system as a plan, right? And so you have your plan of which is your system. So I'm going to start with this, like 66 inside. I'm going to do skill 66 to get out of the hand. So I got 2 hits and 66 inside, 2 hits, regress to 44 inside. Then that's the strategy, but that's step 1 of your system. Step 2 of your system is then I'm going to go to double tap. So if a not 5 or 9 hits at $10, I'm going to throw in $1, make it 25. If it hits again, I'm going to collect the $50 and bring it back down to 10. I'm going to double tap to get out, of the hand, so I'll get out of that hand. So then you're out of your free hand. But then sometimes people are like, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double tap or power press. And then instead of bringing the 50 back, I'm gonna, when it gets there, so $10, throw in a dollar, goes to 25. Then when it hits again, I'm gonna make it look like 50 and take my original $10 back. So I have a $50 bet on the nine for $1, or something like that, and then collect or something. So that's kind of like a system or strategy. So, but I think there is feelings that are involved, and it's not like, oh, I feel like this is going to roll, so I'm going to turn off my bets, or I feel like this. The feelings that are involved is when you lose your money, it feels bad. When your system didn't work, when your strategy didn't work, it feels, uh, you know. That's what, when you play with feelings. But I will say, and Mike and anybody that's played with me can probably attest to this. There are some crazy weird things that I do based on patterns and things that I've seen at the table when I'm there for so long. So a lot of times people come up and they see me put $10 on the nine working on a come out, and they're like, why does he do that? That's weird. And then the nine rolls. Well, something that I find that, I don't know, maybe it's just me and maybe it's confirmation bias, but it seems to happen a large percentage of the time that when somebody has a point, say somebody has a point of nine and they're rolling and they're rolling, they have a really good roll, and then they seven out. They never hit their nine. Um, I I'm of the opinion that there is a large probability that the next point would be nine, not based on math, not based on um the dice control, or not based on like anything other than, huh, it seems to happen a lot. And sometimes when that seems to happen a lot, I like, it has to happen like 3 times within a session until I start doing it. So if I sees the point was 9 and the next person come out was 9, and then the next point was 4, and then the next, and they sevened out, and then the next point that come out was a 4, then the next time that happens, I'm going to spend $10 or whatever to find out. And if they have hopping bets, I might throw $2 in or $4 in to hop something, like, and now all the hopping bets and prop bets are $2 minimum. So I'm going to have to throw in, you know, uh, $4 and say hop the nine. Um, but anyway, probability. It's weird how it happens. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. It looks like Ron got the icon. I got on the icon. Okay, you did. Um, I'm picking the icon too. Um, we'll release those dates really soon. Um, it's so my wife, myself, my son, and his father-in-law all got annual offers that we're going to be taking 8 of us to go on a cruise on the Icon. So that's going to be releasing soon. Uh, yes, the come again. It is 3RX come again. Jeremy rolled that out, and it performed better a few times, just a few times. I would get to 44 inside with 3RX after one hit. I'd press to 66 after one hit, that 21, the continuous combat guarantee. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I don't do with that is play odds. I mean, there's two trains of thought. Like, people say, why wouldn't you, if you're gonna play combat, why wouldn't you play max odds? Like, that's the best mathematical probability to do. But then the other part of it is, they don't rate you on uh, odds money, so you don't get rated on all the odds. So rather than playing odds, just win your flat bets. That's the way I would do it. I would just win my flat bets and use my other money for something else instead of putting all my money on the odds. And the other thing that sucks, just in my opinion, about come bets with odds, is when they hit on the come out. So if I ever did play come bets with odds, I would always have my odds working, because I'd rather lose it like on a come out or get paid with the odds on the come out. So for me, my risk tolerance or my risk aversion is that I'm not going to do odds for two reasons. Number one, um, I'd rather use that money. Sorry, let's say three reasons. Number one, I'd rather use, no, let's rank them. Okay. Number one reason is I don't get comp value for odds. Okay. That's my number one reason. Number two would be that I don't want to put that much money at risk, like on one number. If I did want that number, I would just bet that number instead of letting a come bet travel. And if I had that number and the come bet traveled, a lot of times I wouldn't go down with odds. I would just take my money down, and then I'm usually there on a flat bet for free pretty much because I get paid. So if I had 15 and 20 on a come bet and then I got paid 21 and that 20 went there, it was free. And with the come again system is you are putting that $20 there based on the money you won. So it's all there for free anyway. So I wouldn't want to add more money. Okay, so that's the second one. The third one is yeah, I think maybe there was just two. I think the third one would be I just don't like having my bets locked. Like I can't move them. That's why I only play the pass line um, if I'm rolling the dice. Like I never play the pass line on anybody else. And my wife does this a lot, Amber, uh, because I did this video and she does it. And if you ever seen it, like I know Mike was there, he saw it, but uh, Amber will hop, or she'll do any seven for $5 and the 11 or the horn high ace deuce or something like that. So she'll do like the 7 and 11. Maybe she does a horn high yo. I don't know. But she does like the 7-11 on the come out. She spends her $10 like that instead of $10 on the pass line. And she made a bunch of money because every time there was multiple sevens, people were getting paid like $10 at a time with their $10 pass line. Frontline winner. But she was getting $20 to $25 every time, that happened because there's 7, 11, a 2 or 3, she was still getting paid. A 12, she's still getting paid. So any kind of 7 or horn number that on a come out, she was getting paid a quarter or 20 to $30, not 30, but it was like 27 or something like that. But so she's getting 20 to $27 on a come out every single time. And people were like happy with their $10 win at a time. And then if there's multiple sevens, she'll like press the 7, and so she'll press it along the way. So technically she gets her $10 back on the first hit, and then she'll press it 5 and 5 and then take the $10 back. And then if it hits the second time, she makes huge money. So anyway, that's the way. Because I guess if she knows she's going to lose it if they establish a point, and if they do establish a point, if that person hits their point, you could win your $10 back. But again, it's just $10. If you play odds, it's a little bit more, but blah blah blah. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, happy Thursday, uh, Dan. Dan cruises just as much as me, if not more. Let's just say that. Gary's in the house. What's up, Gary? And Dan, are you going to DiceCon? I'm assuming you are. Oh, and are you going to the post DiceCon cruise? Huh? Does anybody know about that? Well, members do. I'm going to be on that cruise with Jeremy from Color Up and with Jim, the professor. If you watch that, look at this, Gary. Over a year. Wow. So I like the 3RX. Come again. Yeah, it's like I try to get rated 100 points per hour. That's just my goal, and sometimes it's more. So if it's more, that's good. If it's less, then I'm pissed. I'll just play it. How's the P's in this microphone if I say pissed? Sorry. Uh, Talking about the rating on the Wonder? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the rating on the Wonder. So we know this person. We put a picture up of this person. Um, it's one pit boss that is very, whoa, watch out. Can't get nothing by them. And they're really stingy with the ratings. And it's really because I don't know why they are like that. I don't know why they are like that. Like, he's a nice guy, um, but he should know that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I really like the Wonder of the Seas, the ship, but I won't like when I go to book it, I'm gonna think about my rating. So I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna book it. And the thing is, they're going to 3 and 4 nights anyway. So that's the bad thing that about a lot of the Oasis class ships is a lot of the Oasis class ships are going to 3 night and 4 night. Now, some of you, like I know Ron, Mr. Ron Bacon, and Ryan, I haven't seen him here yet, but um, uh, he'll go to work and leave his car at work, take an Uber to get on a get on a cruise like a 4 night or 3 night, and then get back get back from the cruise, take the Uber back to work, and then work that day. So 3 and 4 nights are probably good for those that live right around there, and you could just go and hop on and hop off a 3 or 4 night. And the Oasis class ships, from what I understand, the reason why they're doing this is because a lot of people's introductory to cruises. Like, it's a great business move on the uh, on the Royal Caribbean side, because, well, number one, if people are going to try out cruising for the first time and try a short 3 or 4 night cruise, why not have your best ships do those, instead of your older, smaller ships? And they're like, well, this ship was old, put your newer, good, best ships out there for people to try cruising for the first time. So, great business move. The other thing about it is, and they do this on 7 nights too. I mean, even if you are on a Oasis class ship for 7 nights, you can't experience everything that you want to experience. So they make these cruises designed, the cruise ships and the cruises designed, the itineraries where you can't really uh, experience everything you want to experience, so that you come back to cruise again, which is, yeah, of course, right? And then finally, the third thing I think that is this is where they get more money out of me, is because if I do go on a Utopia, Wonder of the Seas, um, even Symphony, like I think the Symphony and Harmony are still doing longer than 3 or 4 nights, but these newer ones like Utopia and Wonder, if I go on them, I'm going for 7 days. I'm going to do a back to back. I'm not going to go for a short one unless I get off of a long one at the same port or right around the same port, and I'm able to just drive over and get on a short one really quick since I made the trip. But yeah, I think for those of us that are flying in, even if for those that have to fly in the day before, get a hotel, so you fly in the day before, you get a hotel, so you're already in it, like what, $800 or whatever it may be to get there. You don't want to just take a cruise for 4 nights. Like, whoa, you know. So if I'm taking the trip and flying to get there, I want to go uh at least 6 nights. I will do a 5 night, but if I do a 5 night, I'm doing it like when I'm trying to play at a casino on land the night before or something. Like, for instance, the partnership with Hard Rock. The partnership with Hard Rock is amazing. It's a pretty amazing Hard Rock. It's Hard Rock, the Guitar Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, which is in between like Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So if you're going to cruise out of Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and you have to fly in, even though you don't stay, if you don't stay at Hard Rock, I would play at Hard Rock. And on Thursdays is the 5 times points. So anytime I'm flying in, like if I have to fly in the night before, or there's a cruise on a Friday or a Saturday, I'm coming in Thursday and I'm going to Hard Rock for 5 times points. And I did stay there a couple times with when your signature, they give you $300 resort credit and a 3-night stay in the Guitar Hotel, which is like about a $2,500. Like if you paid for it, it'd be $2,500 just to stay there. So I've been trying to rack up my points at the Hard Rock so that I can remain, because they had the matching status, but so that I can remain at the icon level, which is the top tier except for the invite only tier. And so I want to say I'm about a third of the way there, almost. So that's good. But I went to, so I'm trying to rack up my points at the Guitar Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, so that they can offer me some free stays there. Because I automatically get an annual free stay, but I want like free stays all the time, every time I go. So I'm trying to work it out, and these points are good at any Hard Rock. So I happen to be in California, so I went to the Hard Rock in Sacramento, California, and I played there a little bit, and they offered me free night stays, like, yeah, hey, enjoy 2 complimentary nights on us. It's like, I don't want to go to Sacramento. I want to go want to go to Florida, you know. So there's no cruises out of Sacramento, you know, middle of California. But yeah, so I'm planning on getting there on some of the cruises that go out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale. I'm trying to get there on a Thursday, or maybe be there like before the cruise or Thursday after the cruise, just to kind of get my points up. Like I said, before the end of the year, I'm trying to get to that, remain and keep that status. So again, why would I always say land-based casino comps aren't worth playing for, but when you have this match that gets you to the high level, and it, because you get the free stay annually, it's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna stay somewhere, I might as well stay there. So that's why I figure if I could just, you know, so that's how I'm trying to work in some free nights before I cruise or after I cruise. So because you do pay for those hotels anyway. So the only bad thing is there isn't, like, so there's one in Tampa. So if I can get one, you know, to stay there at Tampa, before and after I go out of Tampa, I can have a free hotel stay. But the other one is Miami and Fort Lauderdale, but there is no Hard Rock or anything up by Orlando. So too bad, because Orlando is my favorite port to cruise out of. And I've been out of a lot of them, and Orlando is my favorite. Uh, and the only bummer is I went out of Newark or New York. That one was kind of a disaster. Traffic bad, like Miami. So Miami's like the bottom of the list, but the ships that go out of Miami and the itineraries you can get out of Miami are really good. So anyway, I have to deal with traffic every once in a while, and it's mainly the Uber driver has to deal with the traffic, but it takes forever to get dropped off. So, what's this one say? What's this one say? Great first try. And let's see, comments, new comments. Okay. Indeed, Alaska and Quantum should be a great trip. Yes, yes, it will. Gary said, did the Quantum last year. It's a great ship. Yeah. If I had to pick Quantum, the Odyssey, I'm going to be on the Odyssey next week. Odyssey is like the newest Quantum class ship. There's the Odyssey, the Quantum, the Ovation, the Anthem, and the Spectrum, which only goes out of what is it, Singapore or something. So I've never been on I have to go over there. That ship never comes over here, or it hasn't since I've been in the last 3 years. So I can't imagine this. I can't. I think it's probably the language reason why they don't come over. Probably a lot of that staff can speak Mandarin or whatever language. Like I don't assume that a lot of people would speak English on that ship. Like if we fly over there just to do the ship, I don't know. I don't think people would do that. I don't know. Maybe. Um, Fly from the States over to Singapore to take a cruise. Yes, it's on my list. It will be on my list. I actually looked because I'm going to Japan um, soon and taking a cruise out of Japan. And I'm like, well, I might as well just go over to Singapore. And then I looked at the map. I'm like, I ain't going over to Singapore. That's so far away. It doesn't seem like it's far away until you actually look at like the flight and how much it would cost and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, never mind. Um, but yeah, I would say the quantum class ship is it's a it's a sleeper class. Like, and what I mean is not that you get tired on it because I mean it is so elegant. I really love like my top three, obviously the top three ships in the quantum class is in order, I would say the Odyssey, the Quantum, then the Ovation. And Anthem's really good too, but the Quantum and the Ovation, probably the Quantum is very elegant. It's very elegant ship. And so as far as like sleeper, what I mean is people don't realize how nice these ships are. Um, other than the so who's this say? What's up? Oh, twin brother. Is this Mark? I mean, Ryan from Mark the Point. We should get on live together sometime soon again. Ryan. Everybody calls him Mark because it's called Mark the Point, but Ryan is the one that marks the point. Come on, Ryan. Come on, Ryan. All right, let's see. What does this say? What does this say? That Yeah, yeah, it does add up. The $40 hop adds up. And that's probably when I was talking about Mike saying, I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip it. You're losing $40 at a time. Uh so Ryan's in the house, everyone. Yeah, Amber was watching. Amber was watching. She just feels bad like if somebody's coming on and doing it for the first time, sometimes she feels like I play my game and I ignore them and she's like, "Brian, help them out. Like make sure they don't lose money." She doesn't want people to like come on a cruise like, "Hey, I got on I became a member. I came on the channel. I went on a I got the cruise date. I paid for a cruise to go on with you. And Brian and Amber, I'm here to meet you." And I'm like, "Hey, good luck. Hope you win a free cruise. See ya." Like, and I'm not like helping him out and stuff. And that's what it's all about. I love doing that. And there are people that have paid me. They said, "Hey, to, I want your coaching." And this all started a long time ago when I started doing this. And I started saying to people, "Yeah, I'll show you how to do it," to my family and friends. And so there were some friends I took on the cruise, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to show you how to do it." And they go, "Okay, great. How do you win a free cruise?" And they knew it was like we did some practice sessions of craps, and they knew it was playing in the casino. So they're like, "Okay, show me how to do it." And I'm like, "Okay, how much money do you have?" And they go, "What?" I said, "How much money do you have for the cruise, the entire cruise? We'll break it up." I don't really have any. And I said, "Well, you have to play, and it costs money to play so you can get points." And they go, "Well, I could probably do like $300." And I did it my first time for 300, but I did not recommend anybody try to do that. And I was like, $300? I don't know. And so they played a little bit, but that's when Amber and I started doing slot pools. And so we did slot pools to help people that we took that didn't have enough money get points so they can earn a free cruise. And so we started doing slot pools and we would use their card. The first person that signs up gets their card put in for the points. And so that's what we did. That's how we started getting points for other people. So anytime you see a slot video, a slot pool where we do a slot pool on the channel, you know that somebody else is there and they're I'm just trying to get points for them, pretty much, like make sure they get a free cruise. But some people, they said, "Hey, uh let me pay you." So they paid my taxes and port fees, their taxes and port fees, and then they said, "And I'll give you $1,000 and I'll have $1,000." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's great, yeah." And then when we came up with this thing where people could come with us, because people weren't bringing enough money, I actually started charging $2,500. So $2,500 package would be going on a cruise with me and Amber, and we get on the cruise together. We coach you, and it comes with $1,000 of uh, play money. So it's really just $1,500, because you get 1,000 once you get to the cruise. Non-refundable if you pay the 2,500 and can't make the cruise. But so people were paying $2,500. They get $1,000 of it back when they get to the cruise to play throughout the cruise. That's their bankroll for the cruise. So I had to build in their bankroll, is what I'm trying to say. And then the 500, usually about the 500 would pay for them, their taxes and port fees and stuff. And so there was an extra $1,000 that I would use as the bankroll that they would have for their bankroll. And so then if we played the same $1,000, then we should be around the same amount of points. That was kind of the idea of the $2,500. So I mean, that's still available, but not a lot of people have. I mean, I never really promoted it. Sorry. Is part of my J-Line network. I have partners with my other business called J-Line, which is life, health, and business coaching, helping people life hack, and we call it life hacks to the max, and get free this, free that, all that kind of stuff. And so the travel or the vacation part of it was part of the life coaching, to be able to have people have getaways. We always suggest that people would have at least 4 getaways a year. It doesn't have to be 4 weeks a year if you don't have 4 weeks of vacation, but at least, even if it's like a date night, or if it's like a little retreat, or like a weekend, like having things that you have scheduled at least for a year, at once every quarter, that you would get away. And when I was a manager of I had 10 restaurants and I managed 300 people. And a lot of my managers, I would make sure that they took vacation. And because the restaurant industry never ends, by the way, and probably your work never ends, right? There's always going to be something to do. And it's always hard to take a break. Like, it's always hard to take vacation. It's always hard to leave, but you have to get away and recharge so that you can actually remain and keep your sanity and your health by the way. So let's see. Damn. Oh, look, it looks like we got some chatter in here. So 220 and down to 66 is too much if you lose, to overcome on a PSO. You know how to never get, I'll tell you this secret. Member only secret. It's not really a huge secret. You'll probably realize this, but there is a way to never, ever get hit with a 0.7 out. And for those of you that know that secret, go ahead and type it in the comments. If you know how to never, I'm talking never get hit with a 0.7 out, let me know. Let me know if you know that secret. Go ahead. You could put it in the comments. Let's see this one. Will anyone be on Utopia June 6th looking to try to get a lot of points on a 4-night? See, on a 4-night, I try to average 1,000 points per night, but it's hard unless, so 4-night, you're talking, oh man, what would be the bankroll for a 4-night? I did a little survey, and I think it was in the Facebook group, the Holy Roller Cruising Club on Facebook, where it was like, how much money does people bring and use each night? The average amount bring between 500 to 700 each night. And then I looked at how many points people get per night, and it was about the same. So it's turning out, I mean, it could vary, but I would think it depends on what strategy you're using. And I know you're just asking if people are going to be there, but I think a lot of times, if people are there, that's fine. But how long do you want to play, and how many? I have videos on this, but you have to decide what your strategy is going to be. Like, what are you going to play per shooter? So a lot of times people are like, I want to do 66 inside. I'm going to take 2 hits and go down to 44. That's my strategy, and that's my system. And then from there, I'll do something else. They put their strategy into their system of what they're going to do, what their steps are, right? And so they have $660 they would need if there was 10 shooters. So that's 10 shooters is probably about an hour and a half. If a table's full or slow or fast, but either way, it's probably about an hour and a half for 10 shooters. But if you set an hour, right, for 10 shooters, and you did a session for 1 hour, and you know that you're doing $66, you know that's probably going to be 60 to 70 points per that hour. Um, and so then you have to think, okay, if I'm only going to do $66 to start, then I can expect around 60 to 70 points per hour. How many hours would I need to play to get my points that I want, right? Um, and so then you're like, oh, I only have to play 50 hours. Well, the craps table is not open all the time either way, is right. So if you say, okay, well, I'm gonna do, you know, 3 hours a night, and you're like, okay, three times, okay, that's 200 points a night, okay, so that's 2 4 6 8, that's 800 points on a 4 night cruise, so it's kind of like, okay, that's not gonna work. The other thing that people don't figure out, that they don't really calculate, is if you're gonna play for 10 shooters, and 10 shooters is 1 hour, and you're playing $66, you're like, okay, I need $666 for 10 shooters. Well, let's say you won a little bit, or broke even or whatever. You can use that same $660 for the next round of 10 shooters. And you could do that 3 rounds, or 3 times 10, 30 shooters is 3 rounds. And you're like, okay, I got it. But if you lose money on a round, this is where most people mess up, is they lose a little bit on the round. So after 10 shooters, now they only have $50 per shooter. They only have $500 left with this $50 per shooter, but they still bet 66. And when you do that, you can't last the 10 shooters unless you're winning. If you're losing, you run out of shooters, you run out of money. So it's very important to calculate all of that stuff in. I hope that helps. So let's see, what else do we have here? What else do we have? So I'm kind of reading some comments as we go. I must be behind on the comments, because you guys are talking about stuff that I talked about. How far behind am I on these comments? Let me put one up, and then that way, here we go. We'll put this one up, and I can see how far behind. Yeah, pretty far behind. Sorry. Wow. Okay. So, question: How do you how do you like laying the 4 instead of hopping the 7? So I am experimenting on that a little bit. The reason why I don't like hopping the 4 and 10, especially with Light in the Darkness, not hopping, but laying the 4 and 10, especially with Light in the Darkness, is because I'm hoping for a 4 or 10, right? If you're on the don't, the 4 and 10 is the best point to get. And I often set my dice to shoot for a 4 or 10, um, so that I get a 4 or 10, and I often get a 4. Um, let's say 6 times out of 10. Okay, so not less than 50% of the time, but I'll either get a 4 or 10 on the come out, which is great. The reason why I don't lay it that's one reason why I don't lay it. The other reason why I don't like laying it is because it doesn't pay well. The 4 and 10 don't pay well on the lay. So I'm experimenting with, and I did this little lay to play thing not too long ago. It's called lay to play crap strategy. And the only reason why I did that was because I wanted to kind of see how that strategy works. And then I'm going to try to incorporate it into Light in the Darkness. I think it would be nice to lay the inside. And because if you laid the inside for $30 and a 7 came, the only thing you'd be losing, so $30, if you hopped the 11, you can lose 10 or $40, but when you hop the 7 and 11, you automatically lose $40. If the point is 4 and 10, you lose $10, and you take your lay bets and just move them down. So it's kind of like a modified version of that. So I am thinking about running a Light in the Darkness, but I would probably lay the inside. It just depends on how much an amount. Lay the inside for 30 each. It's pretty close, so I might bump it up a little bit, and then we could lose a little bit more, but it's right around that $40 range. So I don't know. I might try that, but good question. I hope that makes sense. So that's the only bad thing. 4 and 10 don't pay well on the lay. So you have to lay too much, and then you lose too much. But you can only lose one of them. So Yeah, I'm not on a ship. Justice Jen, not on a ship. I'm gonna be on a ship on Sunday, so I'm leaving on Saturday. So Saturday morning, I'm flying out of here. So, uh, yeah, points. Okay, so too many bets. Yeah, that means fewer points. Yeah, they count the rolls. So it's an average amount of rolls per hour, not an hour. So if people are coloring up, or like there was one guy that he was shooting, there was about four of us, five of us at the table, like four other people. So he was number five. He was shooting, and he goes, "Hey guys, is it okay if I use the restroom?" And he was like dancing around and everything, and everybody's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, sure, go ahead." And I'm like, "Okay." He just walked away and went to the restroom. Well, he he was gone for a while. Let's just say that. And I'm like, man, when he comes back, I've never seen this happen before. I think he was rolling for a long time, by the way. And I'm like, man, if you're rolling for a long time and you're on a heater, don't stop, you know. But I guess it was time, you know, it was time for him. um, if I was talking to my kids, I'd use the term like prairie dogging. He was prairie dogging, and he was like, he was like, I need to go right now. And so he was gone for a long time. He came back, and he still was rolling crazy awesome. Of course, when he came back, I turned off for a couple rolls because I'm like, yeah, it's been like 20 minutes. But that hour, we probably didn't make a lot of points, because when they move the coin, there's a coin with the lights and they move it with the stick. There's two things that if you're at the table, you need to look for, because if there's no pit boss at the table and there's a stick person and they're moving the thing back and forth, the lights light up, and then they move the coin, and then the lights go off. Well, what happens a lot of times, and I've seen this, is they don't leave it there long enough. And if they putting it there really quick and moving it, hopefully a pit boss will come over and tell them they have to not do that, because what happens is it doesn't register the roll. So if you ever not getting rated a lot, and you think you should be, it's probably because they didn't leave the coin there long enough to actually get it to register and count the rolls that you were actually there. And I've heard pit bosses sometimes tell a stick person, "Hey, make sure to leave it there a little bit longer." Or you'll see the pit boss person grab the coin even when the dice are out, and they'll put it there, and then they'll move it. They'll put it on the dot, like with their hand, and then move it. And that's when you know, okay, this stick person is not keeping it there long enough. So Jen's very observant at the table as well, and she'll notice things like that as well. So, oh, here we go. Uh, but yeah, Ice the Shooter. Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things. Somebody has to be blamed. Blame the last person that bet, especially if the dice were out, which I never bet when the dice are out. Come on, come on, come on. Uh, what's what's what? What's the, oh, never felt ignored. Okay, that's great. MJ, what's up? MJ in the house. Oh man. It looks like I know Claude and MJ. They've been cruising together and doing more cruises. So uh, uh let's see. Let's see. There's some comments. I'm not putting every comment. I'm trying to just get through this. Let's see. And the thing is, when I hover over it, I can't see it. So it's kind of, I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay. Give me a break. Give me a break. Would you please? Would you please? Um, looks like there's some conversation going on between you guys. Okay, that's great. So, one thing I've been doing, and you'll see it on some videos that have been coming up. Well, look at what happened here. What is this? Gifted 5 Holy Roller memberships. Okay, do you know how these work? Okay, these are all picked. Thanks, Claude, for doing this. Very, very nice, because people could become members. And it's going to pick some people right here, right now, during this thing. and we've already been going an hour, so we're almost done. But what happens is the more you interact, so if you're not a member, the more you interact, like people's comments and comment, the algorithm, based on your engagement of the channel, picks you as a member. So now's the time to just start doing. You could like that right there. We could get 5 free. Let's see if anybody already got a free one. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, this is when we're talking about the wonder. I wonder what's going on with the wonder. Yeah, 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 yeah. So let's see. What's this say? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome when you have somebody that understands. Yeah, understands. I think I didn't even see that, and I explained what the coin was. Wow, we're just on the same track here. All right, and then I think I got to the last one. This is the last comment I have at this point, and there's 21 watching. Have you gave it a thumbs up? Because that could get you a free membership. And so let's see. Can't let's see. You'll see it. Circle the lights. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a coin there, and it counts the rolls. One time I was on a session, and the pit boss came over, and they started laughing. They're like, "Brian, you've been here for 300 rolls." I'm like, "I have." So, I mean, that would on a ship. See, it depends. Like some casinos, they have the tables moving fast. They want to try to get. And if Jen's still watching, Jen, what do you think? I think they try to get at least 100 rolls per hour, like a regular casino, like land base, especially on busy. They're trying to get 100 rolls an hour. I think. On a ship, it's probably. I mean, what would you say, Jen? It's probably half that. I mean, it just moves a lot slower, so you're probably getting 50 rolls per hour. If I'm at the table, um, alone and I know I'm shooting over and over and over, I don't try to shoot really fast and try to, I could and just rake up a lot of points by trying to keep the table moving, but I like to just slow it down, take my time, concentrate, throw, when nobody else is there, and practice my throwing. So a lot of times, when I'm there alone and I'm starting alone, I won't bet really big a lot of times. When I say starting, like when the table's opening, if I'm there, I won't bet really big. I'll just bet like I'll literally do like an all day strategy at the $10 level, but I'll start on the pass line, and then I'll do a come bet, and then I'll do a don't come bet, to equal those, so I have those kind of moving out or whatever, and then kind of see and practice my rolling. And when I start hitting the repeaters and hitting the different stuff, then I'm like, okay, this is awesome. But then at the end of the night, if I'm ever there at the end of the night by myself or a lower table, like a lower amount of people at the table, I will bet huge. I will bet big. And the reason why is because I think there's for me, and Jen knows this, like Jen and I probably played craps together more than anybody. At least for me, I play with craps with Jen and using the dice tracker and all that. It was amazing. Like we were doing it like we'd turn to Jen and say, Jen, how many rolls was that? And she's like, 31, how many rolls was that? 37, mine. And then how many rolls was Amber's? 38, Amber rolled more than me on that cruise that we were on. But uh Jen knows this. I get distracted too easy. That's the part of the game that I have to work on. I have to work on concentrating. I always say, I wish I had those things that horses have, so I just can't see everything that's happening because I get the dice, they're in front of me. I'm looking down, I'm like, I'm not, and sometimes I have my hat on. So I'm like this, and all I could see is right over here. And especially where I'm going, like, and I'll like pick up the dice, I'll come back, and then I go like this to look, and somebody like in the middle of my throw, like while my arm is moving, somebody's hand is in there trying to bet the field or something. And it just throws me off too much. I get too distracted. And so I try to just get into my own, and they don't let you have headphones in because the thing is all the talking it distracts me too, because people are behind me saying, okay, this guy's point is 6, and if he rolls a 7, they're going to lose all that money. And he's like right behind me while I'm like concentrating, trying to throw. And I'm like, what is this guy, or person doing? It might be a girl too, but there's nothing worse. And this is the thing I can't get out of my head, is when I'm at the game playing, there's nothing worse than somebody trying to explain the game of craps to somebody that's watching, and they're explaining it wrong. That's just a passion of mine. And so I'm like shooting, and they're like, yeah, so he rolls until he craps out. And I'm like, this guy doesn't know what crap out means. All this kind of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. They get I gotta concentrate. And or somebody buying in and then not betting, or late bets, or people that they don't know what they're doing or talking about, and they're at the table and they're trying to like place a bet when the dice are out. I don't know why that just bothers me so much. So anyway, somebody has to be blamed, and I will blame that person that bet when the dice are out. Let's see. Let's see. There's what's this say? There is something worse. They walk up and ask you to teach them while you're playing. Yeah, that was hilarious. That one's hilarious. So if it's like a slow table, not busy at all, and there's just a couple people there, and it's late at night, and they're getting ready to close, and somebody's like, "How do you play this game?" I did this on the last cruise. I was like, "Oh yeah, let me show you." And so I would like do different things. I'm like, "Okay, so if you have the 5, 6, and 8 and filled, you have every number except for the 7, so I can win every number. But look at my bets. You can't bet the same amount in the field as you do on the 5, 6, and 8. Blah blah blah." So I'm explaining it all to him and then I'll be like, "And see, I just lost everything." Like if while I'm because, but I usually use my profit money, and I'm like, "So now that pass line was if I pass. Let me show you if I don't pass. Okay, I'm gonna play here now, and now this one." Like, and I'm like actually teaching them as I'm rolling. Hopefully they subscribed. Hopefully they say at least subscribe to the channel. But that's the only bad thing I think, that I have a channel. Like I'm nice to most people, but when people are rude, I'm rude back to them. So they probably think I'm a jerk, and I'm not like rude, like vulgar or mean or whatever. But I'm just like, and a lot of times I'm talking to the dealers, and people think I'm talking to them. Like there'll be a dealer over there on this side, where the dice are rolling, and somebody's getting ready to roll, and the dealer's like taking bets, and somebody dropped their bet, right? And they just dropped it in, and the dealer grabbed the bet and placed it while the dice are out, like in the air or whatever. I'm like, "Hey, the dice are out. Why are you placing a bet?" And I'm talking to the dealer, but the person thinks I'm talking to them. And they're like, "You're on the don't pass. What do you care?" I'm like, I'm not on the, well, I'm on the don't pass, but I want a long roll like everybody else. So anyway, yeah, are we talking about Frederico? Frederico? Yeah, this is, he might watch the channel. He's on the Wonder of the Seas right now. it, Frederico, if you're watching, let us know, when is your contract over for the Wonder of the Seas, and where are you going next? We need to know, because we got to book some cruises. Oh my goodness. Oh man. All right. So yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I like him, but I like him on you know, watching another game. Go watch roulette. Go watch Eric over there at 35-1 roulette, and tell him about no, I'm just playing. This whole contra bet thing started with roulette players. I'm gonna tell you this story, and then we'll be done for the day. We're gonna talk about how roulette players messed it up for everyone, because a lot of people think that once Jeremy from Color Up went on a cruise with me and put out his videos, that's when they changed it. But that wasn't it, because it was before I knew about this contra bet thing, before I went on a cruise with Jeremy, and I heard about this story of what they're looking to do to implement the contra bet is because there was a large group of people that was cruising, and they would do roulette. Okay. Now, whenever you're trying to make points on a cruise, like slot people, people that play slots, they are looking. They know they're buying points. They know they're buying points. They might hit a jackpot. That's good, but they know that they're buying points. So, like, how much did this cruise cost me? And they know that on average, even though it's $5 for every, or $5 gets you 1 point, they know that $7,500 needs to go through a slot machine in order for them to get 1,500 points, And so they're like, okay, well, I don't want to pay $7,500 for 1,500 points. And because of the payout that fluctuates in the up and down, it turns out to be on slots, on average, if anybody that's tracking this would know, unless they hit a jackpot, they're probably paying about $1 a point. So if they're getting 1,500 points, they're probably putting $1,500 in. Okay. Now, anybody that gets any higher than that, they probably hit a jackpot and they gave it all back, right? But usually it's $1 a point, like on average. Well, there's a group of roulette players that said, hey, if we bet everything, if we bet the whole board and we bet everything, like all 38 numbers, the 0, 00, and all the numbers, it's going to pay 35 to 1. So we will lose $15. Okay. If we did $5 each, whatever. So they would do $5 on each number and every number. And they knew they were going to lose $15. Well, they were demanding, they're like very rude and demanding that they get rated for the amount of money that they have on the table. And they went from cruise ship to cruise ship to cruise ship, and they were rude. This is just what I've heard. Okay, I heard this from a pit boss that told me the story of where this contra bet thing happened. Because the thing is that's different about craps is made to play both sides, or this side or that side, or hedge or whatever. Craps is made to play that way. But roulette, I mean, is not really made to play that way. I mean, you could do the first and second dozen and hopefully hit, but even if you played, nobody would really play red and black. Like, nobody would really play that, like, because they know that they would break even, or the green would come, the zeros would come and wipe them out. Like you wouldn't make money. You just wouldn't make money. But with craps, you can make money if you hedge and do different things. You could still make money. And the main reason why is because it's that one roll spin. Roulette, you get one shot at it. You bet once, you get one result. With craps, you get multiple results. And that's why it works with craps, but not with roulette. But with roulette, they're like, okay, we're going to lose $15 a person or a round, or a spin, but we're going to get this many points per hour. And roulette, because it's such a high house edge, it's higher than craps, and because you get more points at roulette. So, for instance, if you had $50 an hour at craps versus $50 an hour at roulette, you're going to get more points on roulette. But you have to bet $50 every spin. And when they move the coin on craps, it's like every spin. When you're on roulette and they take the dauber or whatever that thing is, and they put it on the point, and then when they take it off, they put it on a circle which lights up just like the coin lights up, and it's counting each spin you're there. And at craps, it's counting each roll that you're there. And so if you're doing $50 per spin, you probably you could check out Eric's channel. I don't know if he figured this out, but 35 to 1 roulette, Eric Wilson over there, and he does crap. He's like a roulette version of my channel, roulette and cruising. Craps and cruising. He's roulette and cruising, and so you'll get more points per hour, but you have to bet that every spin. And so these people were like, I'm betting. What is that? What is 30? Let me see what they were betting. They were betting 5 times 38, 190. So they wanted 190 points per $190. They know they were losing 15. So then they were so they were, let me see, 175. So they were 175. But if you did 190 dollars per spin on roulette, you're probably getting, oh man, I wish I knew what the spins were on roulette, because then I can calculate the $15. But let's say 20 spins. That's $300. So if you were there for 20 spins, you would have spent $300. If you're there and say 20 spins is like, I forget. Eric he says 20 spins, 10 spins, and I forget. I think it's 20 spins per hour. I'm not sure, but you would probably get like 500, maybe 500 or 600 points. So you're getting 600 points an hour. And so for 2 hours of play, you have a free cruise that costs you $600. It's very, very easy. Like, it's way easier to get a free cruise if that worked. And that's what they were doing. And there was groups of them, and they built up, built up, and built up. And then there's a whole table of everybody doing that. Like, think about it. Everybody doing it, right? And everybody's betting every number, and they're cleaning it off every time. And then they're giving it all back to them, and they're cleaning it off, and they're giving it back to them. And they were like, we demand our bets to be counted, and blah, blah, blah. And then that became, let's look at this if people are just trying to contra bet. And then it came over to craps, which it shouldn't have, because you have your risk. You're risking on the come out, and you're risking on every other roll too. So anyway, that's the long story made short. I mean, the short story made long of where the whole contra bet thing came from. Oh my goodness. 45 spins an hour. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I thought it was more like 20 spins an hour, but anyway. But $190 per spin. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you'd probably get at least 600 points per hour. So, but you might have spent more than 300 if you might spend 600. But even if it's 1,200, if you spent $1,200, so that's like a guaranteed way to spend $1,200 to get a $2,000 or $3,000 cruise, like, and that's why it's no more. It's no more. So thank you, roulette crusaders. But not people like Eric or people that watch Eric's channel. They're doing it legit. Okay, they're doing it legit. And I don't even think that the light in the darkness is a trick or a, as David from Casino Quest would call it, a hex on the game. Like, it's not really, I don't think it's really, the light in the darkness is not, it's just playing both sides. And when you play both sides, you don't win a lot of money. You can, but you can also lose, and so that's why, that's the thing that's so crazy. $15, losing $15 out of 190, you'd never be able to do that and still play at craps, so perhaps, I don't know. That's why I like the fact that it's not, they're strict with the dice. Both dice must hit the back wall, and some people are strict with the contra betting, but I like that it's kind of fluid right now, and it's not like so strict across the board. Jeremy from Color Up was playing Light in the Darkness and told it was a contra bet, and he politely talked to them and said, I'm risking it right here. Wouldn't I get rated here for this roll? And then when I go to the other side, wouldn't I get rated for this for the next roll? And he was just politely talking to them about it. And then I guess the pit boss or one of the managers came over and said, sorry, sir, for the confusion. You can bet however you want. You'll play fine. But I think it was a misunderstanding, because some people have said this has been happening, that that some pit bosses that are really new and don't understand what's happening, when they say we don't rate a contra bet, they thought and they heard we don't allow contra bets. So they were telling people that they can't bet it. Sorry, you can't bet that. Like, what do you mean I can't bet that? Well, because you bet this, you can't bet that. And I think that's where it came from, where people are like, you can bet it, but you won't be rated. I think that's the difference. And I think that's what happened to Jeremy. I'm not sure, but it was something, it had something to do with you can't bet it or you won't be rated, but they said you can't bet it. And maybe it was a misunderstanding. I don't know. But anyway, I think, let me just check. Did anybody get those free memberships? Anybody? Because we gave away some memberships during this thing. Maybe if you watch it back, I'll leave it up for a while. And if you watch it back, maybe just by commenting and different things, maybe you will get one of these 5 memberships. Huh? Anybody get them? Let me know if you got them. Let me know in the comments if you got a free membership. Um, uh, Sorry. This is about Eric, maybe. I watched a video of him doing a roulette strategy. I believe he said you get your average bet in every 10 spins. Yeah, probably. Like that's why he says I want to be here for 10 spins or 20 spins or whatever. It's kind of the same thing that we talk about on craps, but so anyway, and him and I met before he had his channel, and we've been friends ever since. And so I've kind of talked to him about some stuff, but he's just done a great job over there. So I really like watching his stuff. Okay, that's all I got. And thanks for watching. And thanks for helping me out with this live stream. And I hope it was good for everyone, as it was for me. I think it was awesome. I'm going to watch it back and see how it sounds and looks, but you assured me that it's great. All right. So with all that being said, I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya. Now I just got to finish this. I don't know how to finish. It puts the intro when I finish. Okay, here's another intro.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.